Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, David.
I'm not
How
convinced we're live. I'm good though. How are you?
I'm excellent.
There we are.
I'm
Mistakes were made, and I clicked buttons. And
it says I just got a notification that we're live.
I,
It says I just got a notification.
sorry, no, that was me. That was me. You're fine. I was just this.
I heard audio inception.
You're like, I don't know what's going on, man. That was me. Sorry about that.
That's
So
fine. That's
my audio is
fine.
gonna be a little different today because I'm just gonna use my headset mic. Still kind of quality, but it's not as good as my other mics. But welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, we've got another unboxing. Unusual for us to have unboxings lately, but we have one.
I mean, before we do that, hold on. Do the thing. I'm gonna put the thing up. Do the thing right now.
Well, we want to thank these lovely people, Hilge at the top and everyone else on the list for being our Patreons. This lucky group gets to join us on Discord, and we have wonderful conversations about future printers and stuff coming up, and they give quite a few suggestions of what to talk about and whatnot. So thanks to all these wonderful people. If you want to be one of those wonderful people, you can join us at patreon.com/3dmakeit. And for all other info, go to 3dmakeit.ca.
You sounded like The Price is Right. It was great. Tell them, what do they win?
That was my announcer voice.
It's got to be an embarrassing prize too, right? Hello, Vince.
Hey,
Very
Vince.
long time no see. Yeah. So, unboxing's a strong word for what's gonna happen, but you'll see why in a second.
Everything's out of focus. What's out of focus?
Yeah, what's out of focus? Let us know and we'll fix it. I see everything.
I'm looking at the live stream and it all looks in focus to me.
Just gonna switch to 1080p here. I just double check. It looks okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried smacking your phone on the side just to make sure that
it looks pretty focused?
Yeah, I'm gonna not stream.
So try adjusting the bit rate on your YouTube stream. See if you can get a higher bit rate. Maybe it defaulted to a lower rate or something.
Truth.
I mean, you definitely want to see me in high def.
I know I do. If it's not high def, I don't want to see it. You know, even if it's cringeworthy, I want to see it more.
Vince says he has
machine.
Yeah. I have the mod for the drag chain. If you're interested, it works good.
Yeah, like do you got a link to it, Vince? Or I mean, for sure, always interested to look at the stuff. This is literally the first time it's opened. So well, we might not put it on right away, but if you have a link, pop it in chat there.
I think
you can.
So you should be able to put the link in there. If not, we'll approve it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So if anyone is wondering, David has a K1 Max behind him, and he has mostly unboxed it but not turned it on, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the printer and whatnot, but we have news of other products and things and stuff. So a couple different things have been announced this week. We briefly talked about the Anycubic multicolor system, and they officially have released pictures of it and whatnot. So still no real details of it, but it is definitely coming. Sovo has also announced that they're partnering with what was the company name?
CoPrint. Yeah.
to do multicolor on their clone of a Voron. So that was kind of interesting. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens there. And then Big Tree Tech had their big product roundup of products, and I don't know if I can share my screen or
That's
not.
right, folks. A product roundup of products.
Yeah, so they have a couple different things. I'll just quickly talk about them. So they have the Big Tree Tech Eddy, which is their uh, compatible for Voron. It's their high speed bed leveling. They're calling it. It's basically, from what I've been able to understand, is it is a inductive probe, but it looks a lot different than other ones that I've seen before. So it looks it looks almost like, so the inductive probe that you put on the stealth burner, looks very much like that. They designed it for the stealth burner. So that's the one product. And then they have the Big Tree Tech HBB, which is a
Mhm.
7-button lit up backlit. You can design your own buttons for it to quickly set macros, basically. So you can say heat up bed, preheat, load filament,
Yeah.
whatever you want, and make buttons for that. So that's kind of neat. It comes in black or white circuit board, depending on how fancy you want to be. Then they have a CAN bus strip. So if you are making a printer and you've got, let's say, multiple CAN bus boards, you can tie them all into one strip, and you can adjust
Oh.
where the terminal or termination is. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I had another YouTube open. It said ended stream while you were talking. I'm like, what?
No, it's okay. We're good.
Phew.
I'm still
Wrong
streaming.
channel. I'm on
Uh,
ball. Yeah.
and then I'm not sure what this is. It's like a protection driver protection system, and then they have two. They have a new compute module, and they have a Pi. So if you want to upgrade your Manta boards or whatever, you can get their compute module, the new one. And then they have a Pi. It's got a gig. It's got a rock processor on it, and it's got the um, gigabit Ethernet. It also has, like the new Pi fives, it has the
Mm.
PCIe on it too.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
so so that's kind of neat. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the big stuff that was kind of out in the news here, and then we can actually look at what everyone wants to see, which is the printer behind you.
I'm just gonna mention something before that too. But the that's weird. The Dominic popped in the chat too that he's like, I'm gonna get thinking about a chameleon and a K1, you know, when I move, which is cool. The chameleon 4 drops. So just a note on that. The the 4, although not out yet, uses the same hardware as the 3. So
Is
what
this a
they're
software?
Yeah, so they're offering the new firmware update to anybody who has the 3 that buys one, and then you can upgrade to the 4. The only difference is the 4 comes with that optional cutter,
Mm-hmm.
so you can still have the option to buy it, right? But the cutter would be something that would be different.
Your your
Um,
your audio is really breaking up. I don't know if we can plug and unplug your
oh, we can
USB.
do it simpler than that.
Hello.
That that's much better.
Yeah, I only really need to use this one if I'm like moving, but I don't have a lot of moving to do, so
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think any multi-material system really benefits from the cutter, so it was kind of weird that it was Like because even like the mosaics has the splice core, which is the cutter, and the heat core all in one, right?
Yeah, but
Um,
I think when they were designing the chameleon, right? They were they weren't thinking about the cutting because like things like the rabbit and enraged rabbit and the MMU just pulled quickly to try to get the little blobby as thin as possible, so hopefully it wouldn't plug up.
it's
but
true.
but
Yeah.
but the cutter in my mind seems like the correct way to go, and so it was. I think that's a good evolution of
Well,
the chameleon.
and not even taking it out, like lots of times you can get the filament out with the blob on it. It's putting it back in.
Right. So a nice clean cut
Yeah.
makes a difference, and that's why I think once Bamboo and a few of the others started doing the cut piece, that really did it. Hey
Hey
Gary.
Gary, morning. Yeah, and so like the cutter, yeah, like I think they're offering it as an extra accessory. I think it's just a no-brainer. Like, um, you should probably do this
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
just nice. The one
Clean.
thing I have seen on the chameleons of the people who have it are like, oh yeah, it printed great, but I had to do this a couple times, and usually it was like clear jam or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well,
um,
Dave and I were just talking how the K2 has the similar to the Bamboo, they have it's a little bit deeper so that it can park the head and has the poop chute.
yeah.
Whereas the K1 series, none of them have the poop chute for the clearing the material. So even if you do add the Creality multi-material system, um, they're going to have to figure out some sort of method to do it, whether they choose a portion of the build plate to do it on or something. I'm
hmm
not sure.
And I mean, we've talked about quite a bit in the past too, but I think you showed the poop bag
Yeah,
from the stuff that you did, and
and I did a couple of other tests. So I did a test where I chose a model as a purge tower, like as a purge, and then reduce. You can't if you turn off the purge tower. At least
mhm,
I found this, and maybe it's just a limitation of the version of the slicer I'm using. You can't select purge into another model, so you have to just reduce the size of the purge tower, and then you can also change the amount of material that it's like pushing out. So
mhm.
when it does the poop at the back there, so I did reduce the amount of waste by half, but it's still a lot of waste.
and
But
and
they're beautiful prints.
and that's 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 just it. And there is reasons to use prints that have multi color in them, especially at volume, like in batch format, because that's
Mhm.
where you actually save from the waste, because you're purging for, if you have 20 models, you're purging for all 20 once rather
Right,
than one at a time.
right.
And never, I don't even know if you could do it, but like I know in Mosaic you could, but you could have two different models with two different painting schemes and then it would try to print them. And it's like,
Mhm.
which would be terribly more wasteful.
Oh, a lot of waste, but yeah, I mean, I think Ray has said it before. When his wife does models and stuff on theirs, they make sure that there's a build plate full of models so that the waste is, like you said, minimized.
Yep. Um,
I think that's the way to go.
I can't
But the
see what Vince
chameleon
said.
definitely looks really cool. Um, I hope now. Is it which rep rap's going on right now, like this weekend?
Yeah, there was one in April. That's a good point. Um,
Um,
is it? It's
because
not.
I've started seeing stuff popping up in my feed. I can't remember if it was Murph. Is it Murph?
I can't remember if it's Murph or for one of the other ones.
But they
Murph.
maybe they're going to be announced. Maybe the way they've delayed it, maybe it's going to be announced at that or something like that.
Well, right on, if you go to the 3D Chameleon site and I read underneath where you can like buy it, it does say April 2024 at the Rocky Mountain
It's
Rep Fest. So that's probably where it is. Um, so it would be the new firmware will be released at the Rocky Mountain Rep Fest in 2024. So if that's the case, the wait is over.
Remurf.
Remurf, and that's what it is this weekend. It's the 20th and 21st in Colorado.
See that we could have done a road trip.
Colorado's close enough. Remurf. So if all goes to that thing on their website's plan, it's gonna get released.
Yeah.
So
we'll see videos in the next week probably.
Not long.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's people already putting out videos, so that's it. We got to do a road trip one of these years. We should like actually plan and say, okay, we want to go to blah, and then actually plan it out, and then we can save up and do it.
Yep, I like it. The 3D community,
and if anyone in the community wants to fund us to go,
yeah, we'll take out. Yeah, I do agree. For Canadians, the Chameleon is a bit pricey. However, if you did like the border storage thing, you could avoid the $50 international shipping and like but that all depends where you live too.
Yeah,
right?
we're really close to the U.S. border, so we can get stuff shipped, and then it saves money. So.
Yeah, we basically end up spending $12 of gas, and then we can get our thing. So it's pretty good. So printer came. Yes.
Yes.
It's right there. I don't have the lid on it at the moment because it's probably going to be printing PLA.
Correct. We hit sweetgrass.
Yeah. Sweetgrass. So now it is, spoiler alert, unboxed. That's why unboxing isn't quite what's going to happen. See? Look. Wow. You can even see my headphones lights. That's pretty sweet. So I have to put the screen on it still. That's what's going to happen. But
so
first,
it's more screen mounting than unboxing.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about the unboxing though. And obviously
the manual was amazing.
Yeah, so like you get this. This is the manual you're greeted with. It's called
Arrows not included.
No, yeah, the arrows are special editions. You only get this when you pay more. So you could see that, like, yeah, I know, the door thing. Yeah, I got it. Yes, that's if you watch Uncle Jesse, you'll see him break the door right off. But I plan on keeping it very steady, and when I move it again, I will be taping the door shut. So the quick installation guide, it comes in English, Spanish, Dutch, French, something I don't know, Italian, something I don't know, Japanese, and Chinese.
And how many pages is English, David?
So like you got this, see?
That's huge. It's super thick.
Yeah, and then hold on.
It is
this section right here. That's the English. Right there.
So it's at 6 pages.
Six pages of the giant manual. No, Vince is right. I didn't use it, to be clear. Actually,
he unpacked the whole thing, and I'm like teasing him. I'm like, "Did you read the instructions?"
So I read it. I was like, "Oh man, this thing's huge." You know what? This is one manual you could read because it doesn't actually help you in any sense of the word. This is junk.
Whereas the bamboo was very guided, had each step by step, so it was very thorough on where to unscrew stuff and how to unpack it and everything. That's not Creality's way. We all know that.
And then, in fairness, when you get
we're lucky they even put a picture of something in there.
When you get to this page, you'll notice the color of the arrow is yellow, and then that matches the special edition stickers that you get. there are 3 screws on holding the bed together. But once you put your head over the printer, you see those, and then you take them out. Probably if you unboxed anything in your life before. So this is fairly not useful. That's my rant. If you're gonna put a thing in there, and it's gonna be a quick start guide, make it useful. Or they could have just put a single piece of paper in there that said, please refer to the USB in the box. Because guess what?
It's better.
There's a USB in the box, and I'm going to show y'all what it looks like, I think. Maybe. That's the right one.
Vince says you got to tighten the belt tensioner, though.
Yeah, I looked at the belts really quick, and they seem tight. They seem like they should work. So when you put the USB key in, you get some test prints to start with. So it looks like they got a 16-minute benchy, some of that stuff. Now I don't know why, and I'm interested to see why, but they have like a new they have a spool holder, it's called, in Hyper PLA. This is what it looks like.
But it included a spool holder so you can print the spool holder.
What on earth is up with that build plate? Anyway, so there's a spool holder that attaches to the back of the machine, and then there's this one here that looks like it's
it looks like it stands independently?
Yeah, like maybe even on top. You put it on top, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you probably could.
Probably behind would be better, though, just where the feed line is. So anyway, those are the files on the actual printer. Go back. So inside the supplementary files is an actual user manual. Except hold on, let me show you.
Is it the same?
Spoiler alert.
Shocker.
It's not the same.
No.
So it does get. I know. So it does give you a little more information. Well, so here's the key. This one's the manual, and this one's. But is it useful? Like, so this is when we were working on it. This is what we were talking about.
That's what I would have expected to see as the actual manual. So
like I would have included this page and this page in the quick start guide for sure.
Because then it shows you all the stuff you're getting.
And then like,
look, they even have
install the door handles on there,
which they don't have in their instructions.
Keep the switch off, guys. If you're not running, keep it off. Just okay. But other than that, it does give you a quick overview of what you're going to be doing, like when the screen comes on for actually like printing a file. It looks like they print the little superhero guy. And then we end up with Creality print. So right now, this is kind of where we're sitting. So printer's sitting here. I haven't attached the screen yet.
I think you should attach the screen.
It ends up right here. And then I do have the door here, which I swing carefully because I have a cup holder. But the printer, all the shipping, all that stuff's out of it.
Except the foam in the back corner. Is that foam?
No,
that's the white thing by the.
Oh, there's a bag. That's not part of the printer. That just fell out of my.
Well, what's by the AB? One of the AB extruders. Is that foam?
No, it's plastic.
That's not foam or something?
No, that's the inside of the printer. The light's just hitting it different.
Okay. It looked like it was like, the white foam, that packing foam.
Yeah, no.
On the camera, so I wasn't sure.
It's on both sides.
Okay.
So it's all the foam in it was black too. And cardboard reinforced. So take that as you will. That's I appreciate how they pack these because obviously the idea is one can take them out and a secret hidden manual for all. But you can take it out and get printing. The other thing that of note that we did find is on the front of the printer. Um, there is a guide, a sticker. I'll show that to you in a minute, but it's a quick reference for materials and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try my best to get this screen on. Dexterity isn't
I'm
my
sorry, I'm
key,
not there to assist you.
but I'm gonna try. So, Greg, while I'm trying, you entertain.
Okay, I'll entertain. So what is you switch your camera so now you can see him attempting to actually put the little tiny ribbon cable with his fat manly fingers into the slot.
Yeah, yeah. So far it's
and
working
then
real good
and
too,
then
guys.
we'll
Real.
hopefully and then he'll have a little rip off the plastic cover and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah,
So
satisfying because I ripped off all the other ones. We're gonna need a little more light in here, I think.
a little more dexterity.
That too.
Ooh, there's light on the subject now.
Watch. Yeah.
So, Vince, how long have you had your uh, K1 Max? Just curious. Uh, what the screen is a weird design, or what's the weird design, Gary? Like, what do you think is weird? 4 weeks? Are you liking it? You printed lots? Yeah, I printed like mad when we got the bamboo because eventually it has to go somewhere else because it's not actually mine. So I printed like crazy a whole bunch of ABS and whatnot, and works really good. Rooted mine right away out of the box. So when you say rooted, did you just expose the full mainsail interface? Is that what you're talking about? Or what do you mean by rooted out of curiosity? Uh, Gary, yeah, I don't know if it seems weird to install. I don't know if I like it in the bottom corner there. The bamboo has it up out of the way and out of the door, and the new Creality has it up top too. The K2, because having a square door seems like a much more cost effective manufacturing process than having to cut a notch out of a section of glass. I think that would be if you're making thousands of these, cost savings.
Yeah, I think that I'll have to
There's a guide to do
put
that.
these feet on here, so that's what we're gonna do.
Did you get the screen on?
Nope, I think I have to put those little feet on.
Oh, it needs to go taller.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now.
All right. So yeah, it came. Vince knows this. It comes with extra feet to kind of lift up the unit a little higher, and so yeah. And he said the screen's hard to push in.
Yeah, I
David.
think
So
I was bottoming out against the desk, though.
so you got the ribbon cable in though successfully.
Yes,
Okay.
good news. The part that requires dexterity is over, people.
Well, you're doing dexterity stuff right now, getting those little feet on. Yeah. So yeah.
Don't worry.
So Vince, what stuff have you printed? What's like, have you printed any exotic materials? As long as the door screen clears the screen, it's enough.
Yeah,
that's
and,
that's true.
and it
Well,
does.
that this could be the next day. It's the instead of Uncle Jesse, it'll be Crash David.
Yeah, boom. No,
Open the door and smash
I
the.
held it. I held it. I
Did it
still.
clip? Did it clip down now?
It didn't clip, but like it's there. Like it slides in and then it
Well,
stops sliding.
does the door open still?
Sure does. Look at this door
Excellent.
opening.
Yay. All
So,
right. So now you can peel the warning sticker. What does the warning sticker say? On the screen.
I've read it before. Nope. Have not read it before.
RC 730 dump truck. Okay, cool. Yeah, I ended up printing a whole bunch of Voron parts for a Trident. So that's my next build. Is I'm going to build myself a Trident.
That's interesting. There was just a sticker straight on the screen without like plastic film under it.
Oh, weird. And what does it say?
Before applying power, please check that the 3 platform board fixing screws have been removed.
Well, at least they warn you in 2 places for that.
It's true. You know where this has to go now, though?
Garbage?
No.
Circular file?
No. Special edition manual.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
now technically you've done all the things. You could probably turn it on and it'll go beep beep and stuff.
Probably turn.
But
I will point out on the front here. Let me see if I can just get a little light. Shine a little light on situation.
See, I see the feet.
So the feet are definitely on there. I lifted them up nicely. You could see
there's
that
a USB in the front.
There's a USB. Front, right, left. I guess that would be on the machine. So it does come with the USB in the box, like I said, with the manual, and that comes in this.
And that's the only USB on the whole printer, correct?
Yeah.
So it sounds like, from what the rumors I've heard, is that's where the Creality material system will connect.
I think you're right, because like they bank on more of I'll show you. The one thing the quick guide does do is right away tell you to download the Creality app so you can add the printer to your Wi-Fi and stuff.
What'll be what'll be interesting is
this box of things.
Stuff and things. Tools. We got tools. We got the standard stuff. Is there something? Is there a lower layer to that box, or is it a thin box?
Why? Let me find out. Hey, what's this thing? Whoa. Okay.
That's a clog remover?
Yeah. Or a probe, if you will.
Whoa.
That's a little... So here's the thing. The foam comes out of the box and all the stuff falls in, and it's just one layer.
Okay.
So we've messed up the box forever now.
Oh.
Sorry, everybody. So the only thing, just to be clear, that's not installed on this printer now is the door handle.
So Vince says that long metal needle, don't lose it. You will need it.
Got it. I'm going to print a thing that it snaps into inside the printer then. And it shall forever stay inside the printer on like the back of the door or something.
Yeah. So it's like on the Dremels. You got that little weird one with the little thing on the top, which you could push your filament out with.
Yeah.
It gets jammed.
So, yeah, I will say, they give you 3 options to, like, this is the only part of the quick start guide that actually matters.
Okay.
So it's a QR code that you can scan and register on your phone for the app. Or you can do it, they just tell you the website, and then it says, or you could just skip all that and there's a USB on the device that has all the instructions on it. So that's that's our method here. So the MMS will need a cable dangling down the front. So here's the thing on this one, but
because it wasn't designed for MMS, right?
However, I don't think you would dangle it down the front, Gary, because there is a lot of space underneath this printer. So like if you were to put it in, you'd probably like run the cable underneath the printer and just plug it in the front, so it wouldn't be dangling.
And because there's no connections at the back, is there, David? It's just the power, this power switch, and about it.
Yep.
Whoa, there's lights. It's alive.
I lived it. Oh yeah, there is no other ports. Oh no, that's a lie. There's a Ethernet port on the back.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna go full out investigation on this, like CSI style. I don't know if I have NDI on here still, guys. Sorry.
That would be handy if you did.
I'm not sure if I still have it. Who are you? Let's see if I do. Please bear with me while I add India. Oh yeah, and usually we have music, but the music source we used on the streams has changed its licensing and rights. So I'm trying to
Oh.
figure out how we can actually play that again.
Oh, so we can't do that anymore?
Not with that one. I was trying to find other ones, but it hasn't. I haven't been able to find one. I do not. Let's see here. There's Ethernet. Yeah, so the plug on the back is Ethernet, so they could actually use that.
So they have
too.
Ethernet and Wi-Fi, probably.
Yeah. So I honestly, I think I'm just gonna see if I can't. That's a little better, I guess. I don't know. So they could use the Ethernet port as an interface to the AMS too, or the whatever they call it.
Yeah, I don't know what they're. I think they're not. It was never designed for it. That wasn't first of mind. Whereas the new one, they're like, we need one. They even upped it one from the AMS. They can the AMS with bamboo can do 12.
Mm-hmm. They did.
They
16.
can do 16. Ooh.
So here's the thing, like. It would be really forward thinking of a company to actually provide a product that will work with all their stuff. And maybe if it's just a USB thing and a couple mods, who knows?
Maybe right? Moving forward, right? All new K2 series will have all the plugs, and the K3 or whatever for that'll be compatible.
Yep.
So
we got a little bit of setup here to do. I'm gonna try my other mic. Greg, let me know if it goes crazy.
Okay.
USB hub. Yep, that's true too. So I'm just gonna, for the best of me, try to go through this. So you pick a language. It defaults to English. I don't know if that's because it's a North American unit.
Choose Spanish.
Espanol. So it does warn you about the screws again. That's what this screen is doing. Let's see if I can. Hold on.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, a little closer would be all right.
Focus. Hold on. Focus. I think I have just the thing to solve this problem, folks. Because I can't hold that and do this. But I think this is good.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Yep. Go tools. Audio is louder. David was a bit low before. Is it too loud? Is the question, Gary? Greg's watching chat. I think
no, it's good. It's good.
Okay. So that's just warning you about the screws. It's just an okay screen. Welcome to Creality 3D Printer. Please keep the blue cube in the diagonal frame clear of debris and click OK. So basically it's like, don't put stuff in the printer. I'm going to do stuff now.
It's going to probably move stuff around. Yeah.
And there's nothing in there. So I clicked OK. They make you agree to a privacy policy. And so just to be fair, we're going to keep this pretty stock for the first little bit. The reminder.
You got to test it out.
The reminder with the screws is really nice. Because if you leave those screws in now, nothing will move and you might cause damage, right?
It'll probably go grind.
Yeah. So I'm going to accept the privacy agreement reluctantly.
Well, you're sending all your information to China, just like on the bamboo.
Yeah. Basically, it says, thank you. We're Creality from Shenzhen. Love us. And then it goes along for a while. Yeah, for sure. I understand. The good news is we have a certified pen tester somewhere on staff, so we can monitor this machine and see if it's...
I'm seeing him on screen. Hey, you know what? That would be a great video. Do a pen test analysis of the Creality versus the bamboo.
Yeah, we could. We could see what they got going on. The stock firmware doesn't make a full input shaper. It applies the same value on both axes. That's interesting to know, actually. So it just kind of duplicates it. Probably were the touchscreen out trying to scroll through all of that. You
Yeah,
probably would. So we've come to the screen that's a secret screen that says set up Wi-Fi. So you guys get to see this screen again. And then I'll set up the Wi-Fi.
I can entertain them while you set up the Wi-Fi. Unless you have an Ethernet cord that you could just plug in. No.
I mean, the switch is under the desk, and I could, but I'd have to crawl around for seconds. So we're going to do Wi-Fi. Yeah. We're doing Wi-Fi here.
Yeah. So that would be a really interesting thing to do, is because everyone's like, oh, you're sending all your stuff to China, which is valid. You know, these are Chinese companies that are making these products. Creality has had their cloud print product out for a long time and whatnot. I can understand where a company doing prototyping definitely wouldn't want, you know, their products, you know, sent to the cloud in China and whatnot. But I think a good analysis of what it's actually doing, where it's actually sending, would be really cool to do on a security perspective, because that I think would be excellent. So
yeah, because like we talk about it for sure. Like we've talked about the Bamboo Lab doing it, right? But we would like to know, like, what are you opening your home up to? And like Greg said too, a person printing a Benchy is going to have different security requirements than a person like prototyping. Rooting the machine will drop. Man, I can never read people's comments.
Creality Cloud and utilize the mainsail or fluid. So yeah, so when you go into it, and because I think Chris Riley or maybe Teaching Tech, a couple of them had guides where you go in and you can basically run. It's like Kahlua or whatever, the Clipper installation guide almost, and then you can basically enable the full mainsail, because the screen, the web interface for the Creality is limited. It doesn't have all the features, even though they're all kind of there because it is Clipper, right?
Yeah.
When you expose them, then you get access to the printer CFG, which you can back up. You can do a number of things, and so it gives you a lot more utilization.
So this one, so it asks you to set the time, which you did. And then there's two options: mainland China, in this area, or international. And this is the Creality Cloud.
We'll go international. So Vince says when you root it, you completely get rid of the Creality interface completely.
Oh,
whereas the way that I've seen on either Chris Riley or Teaching Tech, they add the functionality of mainsail, so that you have to go to you basically refer to a different port number. So port 80 gets you the Creality, and then port whatever 4 something gets you either mainsail or fluid. So you can have either one on there.
Okay. So that's pretty sweet.
I think South Park had the episode about checking the Chinese agreements.
You did. It was the iTunes one with a human centipede thing. It was an interesting episode. I'm just so full disclosure. I'm just going to switch it back to Greg and I for a second, just to get the. But right now I'm actually looking for the Bamboo Lab printer on my computer here, because I want to see. So the screen that we're on the setup says bind your printer to the Creality Cloud. And if that statement doesn't scare you a little, so I mean, we're probably gonna
skip. Can you skip past it, or you have to do it?
Well, there's a next button. What is this? This might be it. So there's a next button on the screen, but it doesn't tell you if it's actually like gonna skip it or whatnot.
Vince says you can skip it.
I just wanna. This has got to be it right here. Ooh. I'm gonna type that in manually. 2 and nope, that's work.
Are you trying to go to the web interface?
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to make
never
sure.
Never used it, never will. Vince said. Fair enough, right?
So I'm just trying to find. We could probably find it on the printer after, so we might do that. So we're definitely skipping the Creality Cloud at the moment. We might circle back on that, but we'll let you guys know. So that's where we'll leave the Creality Cloud, as we're going to click next. So I'm going to switch back so you can all see the riveting.
Right.
Ready?
We're riveted.
Next. And so now it says, please place the printing platform. The self-check process is expected to take around 11 minutes. So hopefully
it'll probably go loud like when we did the bamboo.
I'm wondering if I shouldn't get the lid. If it gets too loud, I'll get the lid. I do have noise canceling on this microphone. So I'm just going to hit next. So now it's just running through that checkup. So you can see it's going to do a nozzle, hotbed, the heat break fan.
It's got a check mark.
And then
heating the bed. So now, all right. Put a spool and the lid on the machine, as Vince is saying.
Oh, so the lid. The lid.
Because when he does the test, right, that's going to change the frequency because of the weight of the spool and the glass.
Okay. I'm gonna flip you to Greg. Greg, entertain them.
Yeah. So he has to go around the green screen to go to the box to get the stuff and whatnot. So he'll do that and whatnot. That's a good point, Vince. Because any changes you like currently on the bamboo, I've got the AMS on top. So if I move the AMS to the side, I'll have to recalibrate so that it actually, the vibrations and whatnot, because you changed the whole mass of the entire thing. So yeah.
All right. Screen or box achieved, friends. Box achieved.
Did you mount the spool holder? You could probably just put the filament right on the spool holder.
Well, I think the spool on top of the glass lid is so that's when it's vibrating, the glass doesn't go.
Yeah, but the mass is in the wrong spot when you're doing the testing. Just saying.
I'm gonna run it again anyway. It's just detecting input shaping now and auto leveling, and that's something that we were actually talking about with some of our other clipper printing printers, is getting the accelerometer and stuff installed.
Well, it's doing this. Why don't we talk about your recent clipper escapades?
Sure.
So David is now clipperizing his printers. I've done all of mine. And so, yeah, he ran into some stuff and things.
Yeah, so we talked about the one thing the other day, so we won't have to talk about that again. So
the squeaky probe was interesting.
Yeah, so there's a few things that happened on the other one. So like sometimes, so it would always safe home correctly, which was great. I'll throw that out there. Ooh, this boy's getting loud, just like the other one. Anyway, so, but when it went to do a mesh, it would accelerate so quickly down towards the bed, it looked like it might go through it.
A little scary. Why don't you switch from the headset back to your desktop mic?
Okay.
There.
And at any rate, when the probe did deploy and go up and stow, it would go squeak, like it was like a little eek, eek, and it
But
wasn't.
to be fair, when I watched it, it was terrifying how
It
fast it was moving.
it was moving. No joke, like it was moving quick. The other thing I did learn about it that took me about a half hour longer than it should have. My thought process wasn't there. All my other printers have BL Touch 3 or better, 3.1. On them, this one has a 2. I'm fairly certain, which means that so I use
voltage
the touch feature.
doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. So that one is kind of concerning
Well,
because
now that you got the speed right, you should try the touch feature again.
I should. But like what was happening is it wouldn't deploy, and then the probe would just go, I didn't deploy. And you're sitting there watching the stupid thing. It would drop the pin, it would touch the pin, pull up like it worked, and then go, I didn't deploy. And you're like, you did too. Anyway, so we discovered that if you put a homing speed in the in different places, they become additive, not independent or precedented. So like,
and I don't know if it's fully additive, but it definitely causes conflict in what the printer understands.
yes. So like what was the place? So there's the
Yeah,
BL
so
Touch, the Safe Home,
and then the
the
Z
Mesh, and the
and the
Zeds.
Z,
So
right?
there's 4 places.
So he had speed in those 4 places, and they weren't all consistent speed either. Like there was some that were different rates than others, and so it definitely caused issues. Like it was once we took them all out and let it use the default, at which I think we figured out the default is 50.
Yeah. So if you don't set the values at all, the default is 50.
Then it was able to do it successfully without a squeak.
and the squeak was amazing. Like it was just like a chirp almost, like chirp, chirp, chirp.
Yeah. It was terrifying how fast it was moving though.
So aside from the squeak though, something else very interesting happened, and I can only like kind of take an educated guess as to why. But while it was trying to, so the safe home was fine. It did the safe home, that was great. But when it was trying to do the mesh, it would get maybe through 3 points, and then all of a sudden, it would report stepper voltage error. So it would say the Z stepper, which is up and down. So just to preface, this is my SX4, the big Core XY with the large 400 by 400 bed. But it would say that the stepper voltage or the stepper was under voltage, and it wasn't. I opened it up. I made sure that like the board was getting at least 24-volt power. So that one has 2 meanwhile power supplies, and one was sitting right at 24. So I did turn it up just a little bit to just give it a little bit of overpower, not too much. But so that wasn't the issue. The stepper wasn't under voltage. What was happening was as the bed was moving up so quickly,
and you had the acceleration high too.
Yeah, it was super. Well, it was like 5,000, I think, but which isn't that high
instead of 25.
Yeah, it's not so bad. Anyway, it would go up really quick and then come down really quick, and the steppers would backfeed the voltage, and that's what was causing the driver issue. And as soon as we slowed it down, that issue went away because then it wouldn't get this surge and then the decline really quick. And then the other thing that helped is I did add another Z stepper to it finally. I had to rewire 2 of the 2 motors. It's weird in that printer. They didn't use like a coupler or anything. They just shoved all the wires into the one end and then plugged it in. So there was no like good coupler. Yes, thank you, Ray, for reminding us. Like, share, subscribe, be the best you can be. I think it's on. That. See, look, I'll flash it. This is like an old 90s commercial now. Flash. Order yours now. So it's running through the input shaping still. This is going to take a minute.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna move to the next part, and we might just.
Dominic's right. He said it sounds like there's logic error in the code. There should be.
There should be sanity checking, or
Yeah.
at
So
least precedence.
their sanity checking is pretty good in Clipper so far that I found. You put certain things or you forget certain things, and it says, "Hey, you should probably do this." So when you have speed in multiple locations, it should alert you that you have the speed value set in multiple locations. Please only set it in X location or something. Like there should be some sort of sanity check there. What was the other one that we found? Was it there was another one where
the stepper driver current. When you set the current incorrectly on the two steppers, they would conflict, and then they would cause that buzzing on the way down. Remember?
Yeah, that wasn't the one I was thinking of. There was another one where it clobbered it when you had it in two places. Something else in two places. Was it the?
Well, I know the one was the interpolation. There was two though. Like
there was two. There was two because we had.
We'll have to go back in time and watch like our live stream.
There was another spot where it also didn't have as much of a sanity check as it needed.
Yeah.
If you had something, and that's something that they'll probably do eventually, but maybe we have to do a report.
Right.
Say, hey,
and this is a case, and Marlon's the same, right? Like get on GitHub and roll in the report, and then they change it, right? Because Clipper, although very stable now, like it's a great firmware. It's still like young compared to Marlin and some others.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna switch just to the next thing here. Maybe we can take 15 minutes really quick to go through and just look, and then we might have to continue next week because this is still going. But just really quick, I wanted to show you a few things. So with this one, we are going to start with the Creality Slicer. We thought, why not start with what the company made for it?
And then we'll try other things. Like, for example, I've only used Bamboo Slicer on the Bamboo, and it's been working really well.
Yeah, and like here's Orca Slicer, and like there is built-in templates in Orca Slicer, so we'll try them. But the Creality version on the Creality version, oops, sorry about that. The Creality
Vince,
version
what are you
on
your K1?
Right here.
And Ray, what are you using for your slicer on the K1?
So the Creality print version on the SD card is 4.3.7, but when we unboxed it as of today, we could get 4.3.8. So there's a newer version available on the website, so that's what we're going to go with. Now remember, the Creality Slicer is just a skinned copy of Kira. So there's that. Now we will look at like there's operation videos and stuff. I'm not going to go through those right now. But they do give you the 3 models that they sliced the demo files for as well. What does the README say? Let's really get there. README, 3D prints manual. So it's a tree for the folders there. Yeah. So nothing huge in the README. So we got this downloaded. Let's pop this open.
Vince says he's using Orca.
Yeah, and that's my plan, honestly. I've been switching everything to Orca. There's a few things I don't like about Orca, and those things would be speed settings. So here's the setup window. We're just gonna go through quick. It asks you where you want to put it. What do you want to view with it? I'm gonna not do STL extensions because I have other slicers, right? So leave those 2 off, but we will.
So Ray says K1 is using Orca because it's rooted, but the K1 Max is Creality Slicer, and he says it works really well.
And our good friend Raymond actually he has a very good demonstration of all of the performance of all these new like the Bamboo printer, the K1 series.
Yeah.
He has good models to show you.
It was really cool. just to see them all lined up. They're the same model, same filament, and honestly, until you look at the bottom, you can't you pretty much can't tell them apart. Like they're very, very. So if you're wondering what's the quality on all these printers, it's excellent.
High quality. So this is kind of interesting with Creality Slicer here. It does give you a start screen that's actually really similar now to Bamboo and or Orca.
So you're selecting
you select your
printer?
language and your locale, and then I have to drag them all over because it opened at the other screen. But then you can see here they have their flagship series, and so like no longer are you using the default Kira menus. In fact, I'd be interested once I get in here if I can read the EULA. So we have a K1 Max here, which is a 300 cube. And we have the default size here. We did get a hardened nozzle as well in the process, but we're just using the default because it's going to print ABS or PLA or PETG or something like that. So this is what the program actually looks like now, which is pretty okay.
It's Vera. Oh, there we go.
Sorry. So
it went away. Oh, there it's back.
It should be back. Yeah. Yep. It clearly has some video driver things. That's interesting.
It definitely looks Kira.
It's skinned Kira, but it does have elements of the new stuff. So I wanted to see the licensing. I'm just dropping the Benchy in right now, just from the USB key, just so we have a model on there. So the device tab, and then you can get to the LAN and stuff. Let's see.
Boy, it doesn't like the video switching stuff.
It hates it, which really, really makes me think it's Kira. So here's
it's definitely Kira.
Here's my so it did find the K1. Oh yeah, see, check that out. It just flashes every time you. I apologize. We'll try to figure that one out.
Maybe go windowed.
That could do it
instead of full screen.
So here's, just so we know, here's what the monitoring screen looks like now. So you do have full access to a file tree. And
is that supposed to be a camera on the right there?
It's supposed to be.
Top right.
I don't know. I don't know what it's doing.
I bet you there's a little film over the camera. And you haven't peeled it off.
No.
It wasn't in the instructions.
It's a
beauty cam. It's the beauty
William Shatner mode, right?
It's the beauty filter.
Yeah, the Vaseline on the lens. So I'll just add it here for now, and then you can see it's doing its thing. I don't think that'll affect this. No, we're good. Yeah. And so now I'll just show the other one here too, just so you guys can see the build screen. Once it's just had an okay, and now we're just at the home screen. So that is finished. We might continue our journey into the slicer though, like I said, next week, but it's all set up now. Once you can see it again.
Just need the Vaseline removed.
Yeah, so we'll get the Vaseline off that camera lens, and away we go. So I wanted to check this though. Let's see, about us. Creality version. Okay, one more. We're gonna check one more thing. Sorry. I apologize.
Boy, every time you switch screens, man, it goes blinks off. So Kira.
Here's what we're gonna. I switched it back to us. I'm just gonna look up the folder path here. Let's see, Creality Slicer, print 4.3.
It's definitely based on Kira.
It 100% is Kira. It has all of the same Qt files.
I wonder if they're gonna eventually maybe switch to like Orca or something like that, like or something.
Well, you never know.
I guess they've got all their developers working on Kira, so maybe they'll stick with it.
The thing is Orca too is okay. Orca is a fork of Bamboo, which is a fork of Prusa Slicer, which is a completely different brand than Creality ever was, right? So they probably
like 3R.
Yeah, and there's nothing. If you don't know, spoiler alert, there's nothing wrong with Kira anymore. It's a good slicer, and Kira and
And the
Prusa
new
use the
version's
same
coming out fairly
mentions, and
soon.
yeah, like
So
everything is just fine.
I have no problem. I've used Kira lots.
Yeah,
So
I
I
I
I I just haven't actually sat down and used the actual Creality slicer itself in ages. It looks like they've kept updating it, which is good because for a while there it was kind of stagnant.
yeah.
And they didn't really have lots of new features and whatnot, but they've definitely put some work into it for sure.
Yeah, Vince had a good tip too. Just flip the lid upside down and it'll keep it slightly open because it rests on the handle. So when you're printing PLA and stuff, the heat can get out.
I like it.
Good tip. But my friends, we shall leave it there for today. That's the semi unboxing, mostly setup of a Creality K1 Max. Check the Discord. Greg and I will start
Yeah.
posting pictures of both of
Yep.
the prints and all that stuff. Start doing a comparison on the two. But they both look very flagshipy and nice. So
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like the K1C has changed the lid so that it raises up more, and because this was even saying that the drag chain really kind of scratches the lid because over time because it's a little too close.
yeah.
But the K2 they've already repaired. They've added
In
more
theory,
height.
we've seen
Yeah.
one K2. So we'll see what they look like when they get to
Yeah.
production.
All right.
But
Well, thanks everybody for joining us, everyone on Patreon and such and things. And follow us on all the socials and see you next week.
that was ambiguous and I love it. Until next time, friends, have a good one. Check the Discord. And yeah, like Greg said, we'll see you next week. All right.
Bye.